Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my latest video out here for you. Can't wait to get this information to you. In fact, I was going to make this even longer video, and I'm like, I better chunk it into part 1 and part 2. One of the things about part 1 and part 2 doing that is it's the weirdest thing. Like I have people watch, you know, one video and then a little over half the people or a different amount of people entirely will watch the other one. I don't understand it. So in fact, on that note, I'm going to have in the description box and also pinned to the top of comments my last two-parter, which is called Obama Connected to Famous Mass Murderers, or 50 plus 50, over 50 mass murders. So part 1 and part 2 are very good. So check those out. Especially in part 2, I've got some incredible stuff you want to see if you want to see any of these videos. And then also, I definitely highly recommend, which is done pretty decent. Again, a lot of these videos of mine, they're shadow banned like crazy. I mean, literally, I have over 20,000 subscribers, and I'm lucky if I get half of them to watch the video. So if you're watching this video, make sure you have the notification bell clicked on. And please also thumbs up this video, because I immediately get a lot of thumbs down from people that just basically, as soon as they see my video up, they thumbs me down. It's always that way. So thank you for thumbs up. If you think about it, just do a quick thumbs up, just so more people get to see this video, and a lot of new people as well. I always get new people, but I'm shadow banned like crazy. In fact, I could probably do a video proving how much I'm shadow banned. But I don't get into all that stuff. I mean, hopefully just take my word for it. A lot of you know that already. Anybody that people have a lot of truth out there, they've also deleted a lot of my videos, excuse me, that were super controversial about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, F, G, the technology, those kind of subjects, or even the injections that are coming and all that kind of stuff. I've done videos on that, and they removed that, some of them within a couple hours. So anyway, I've got those two videos, part 1 and part 2. Check those out. I'm going to have them pinned at the top of comments and also in the description box. And also check out my video, which is I'm just still blown away by what the Lord showed me about. It's a crazy, amazing timeline about the sun, moon, and stars and everything. The Lord's showing me about this time frame, what's coming here in 9/11. I'm going to talk about that here quite a bit. Excuse me, my throat's a little raw here. So a little dry out here. We have fires out here in Colorado, and I could smell it. Even in my house, I could smell the fire. It's like campfires all around us. It's crazy. So it's kind of wreaking havoc with my throat again. Anyway, I always have throat stuff sometimes. And then I found the gold and silver keys as well linked in the description box and at the top of comments. So without further ado, I want to get into this. I've been waiting to put this out, but there's several discoveries that the Lord showed me. You will not believe what's in part 2. I couldn't include it in this because I'm doing more research and more things to back up what I'm saying. It's phenomenal. I'll just touch on it at the end of this video, but you've got to watch both parts. And please, again, get the notification clicked or check back with my channel. Sometimes they get turned off. I mean, YouTube does everything to me. I've had them. I couldn't put my email in comments for a while, for weeks, and then it would be turned back on. Someone go back and turn off all my likes or my hearts. I mean, I've had everything happen to YouTube you can imagine. Why go into all of it? Just to let you know that they're just messing with me all the time, or it's AI, or it's people, or who knows what it is. I don't know. And mostly I don't care, but the fact is I want to reach more people and more new people as well. So, okay, so here we go. So, I'm getting into this timeline, and I've shared, if you want to know more details about what's going on in each thing here, each little window here, 9/1, 9/2, 9/4, and 5, 9/7, and 9/8, and I'm going to show you the other days. Go back to my video, just go to my channel, click on the lion head, and that goes to my channel. If you didn't know that, click on the lion head icon. That goes to my channel. You go back on the videos and go to July, and I break it down, each one of these apple rolls, because I'm not going to do this again and explain everything again, because it's a long video, 4-hour video if I do that. But what the apple roll signifies and what each thing is as the apple rolls, So, Lily drops the apple. That's a birth. She's pained to be delivered, just like a Revelation 12 sign. She's got 12 figures behind her. It's kind of, in a sense, the moon's under her feet. I mean, all these different things that are in the Revelation 12 sign. But it's, the enemy's version of it with some other twists. And that is Jupiter falling out of her hands. The apple is like if you look at the apple with a spot on it, sideways, Jupiter, like with a reddish, big reddish tint to it. But it's Jupiter with a spot on it, because that's the god Jupiter, which represents the Antichrist being born. Jupiter is one of his names, Osiris, even back to Nimrod. These are all repackaged, rebranded names for Lucifer, of course, in many ways, including we're going into the age of Kronos as well. I mean, all these things. So 9-1, I'm saying, will possibly be a flood of some kind. And I'm going to talk about that with the Three Gorges Dam that I've been looking at quite a bit for a while. And it may be on the verge of exploding. And I'm going to talk about that as well. So that would be marked out by some kind of possibly water breaking to mark out a birth, for example. And I've seen a few examples of this 13-day period in shadows of that before. For example, like I've mentioned and I showed, there's 2 dams that broke in Michigan on the exact first day, which was May 19th. And that was a 5-1, because 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0 is 5-1. And like I said, and there's examples of this. And then on July 19th, China blew up a dam in Hubei province. And that was exactly on the first. I was looking for a dam to break, and they blew one up, actually. And so that was exactly on that day. So those days, 5/19 and 7/19, are both 5-1 and 7-1. In fact, on their calendar, 5-1 is really 3-1, and 7/19 or 7-1 is really 5-1. So these kind of overlap. Hopefully that makes sense, that there's a Roman calendar, which the elite go by, and different people have hinted to that, including Trumple, Thinskin, the 45th Prez, about 7/11 being 9/11 being 7/11, and things like that. All kinds of things. So Septem in Latin is, again, 7. So we call it the 9th month, but September is really, to the least, the 7th month. And that's kind of the hidden thing here. So that's why I've looked at possibly July, but then I knew it possibly could have been September as far as the 7th month. So keep that in mind. The apple falls, it hits the ground right here, and you see the spot. So that is, it falls on the first day. You see the spot, which represents, this is like, the sun being in the middle of the sky, basically at noon. And then as the sun goes underneath, it's the next day. So as it's rolling, the 4th and 5th day, the spot is buried into the ground, or to the floor right there. There's like an asteroid-looking thing coming through. Again, go back, and if you really want to see the details of this, there's literally a dead face right here. Maybe you can see it. It's a face with closed eyes combined with a skull nose. And this is upside down, especially upside down backwards. That's how they hide a lot of things. It's a meteor or a comet or something coming through. And so I'm guessing that they're going to have there's going to be some kind of, and there's a lot of other predictive programming for this I've shared, and things out there even still. In fact, I could share more about some meteors that are coming in, and all the gematria and all the kind of stuff on that. It's insane. They're pointing to this time frame as well. And also, again, let me say this one more time. Without fully explaining it, you can watch on my previous videos. I say go back to the one where it shows this icon with the different windows like this and the different dates for July. So like July 1st through July 13th, for example. And I get into the details of what each of these days are, these attacks are. If you don't know my videos already, and haven't watched them and know what all these things are, I'll briefly explain them. So 3-1 is 5-1 is 7-1 is 9-1. There's a number of reasons for that. I'm not getting into all that. Also, as a precursor and as a legend, in a sense, to what I'm about to share with you, as also 3-11 is 5-11 is 7-11 is 9-11. Okay, and then also even more than that, so 322 Skull and Bones. 322, as anybody knows about the Skull and Bones secret society, through Yale and everything, and several leaders have come through Skull and Bones, including the Bushes and everything. 322 is 522 is 722. 722 was 7:22 in the morning when Abraham Lincoln died, basically. That's the code for that. Is 922. And what I'm saying also, 922 is 2 plus 2 is 4. So 94. Also 94. 95 is huge. 95 is also 59 backwards, which the Antichrist now, CQBO, the 44th Prez, is 59 now. But there's a number of things to this, but I'm going to get into that right now. But 9-4, I call him the dead Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, the dead Bush. When he died, he was 94. So that leaves a clue. So listen, he was a big Skull and Bones guy, okay? And I've shown a lot of code with him and Skull and Bones. Even on my last video that you have to watch part 2 about Obama being connected to the famous murders. And you got to see this part 2. It's extraordinary if you haven't seen it. Linking Bush to Obama and Barbara Bush to Obama and Aleister Crowley and all this kind of stuff. It's insane. You won't believe it. So, but when Bush died, which is on November 30th, which is 11-3 or 3/11 backwards. I just talked about 3/11 is 5/11 is 7/11 is 9/11. He died. When he died, he was 94, which is hidden 922. And like I said, 922 is 722 is 522 is 322, which is Skull and Bones, which he was part of. So these relate to each other. They're the same thing. So that's my premise. To give you a little bit of a legend ahead of time before you watch this rest of this video. So there's going to be, this is all my grand guess. Again, it's always my guess. I don't know the future. I do have a prophetic gifts. I've been given dreams, visions from the Lord Jesus. He is the one who guides me through all this stuff. You know, and some religious people would say, well, if it's really true, and why don't you ever? We haven't gotten some of these stuff right or whatever. A lot of people say I haven't gotten anything right, which is not true whatsoever. I've gotten a lot of things right. I've gotten a lot of events right. I just didn't know the dates. In fact, I've even predicted certain things would happen, and they did happen on certain dates. So if you look at my videos, it's absolutely true, and people could vouch for that. I mean, comments all over the place. So this system does work. It is working. It has been proven many other times, especially this 13-day process, which I'm going through right now. 1 is 9/1 and 13 is 9/13, September 13th. So as I go through here, there'll be some kind of mass attack, maybe a meteor. Again, this is my grand guess. And deaths, okay? Because this is going into mega rituals now. As we enter in whenever this 13-day period is, it could possibly even start on 9/19. 19 is 1 plus 9 is 0, which ends up being 10, which is take away the 0 is 1, through the end of the month and even October 1st. But I don't think so. This seems like it's nailing all my stuff's nailing this. But again, this is all my guess, my grand guess. And the reason why I say grand guess GG is because it has to do with Gilbert Gottfried talking about the Golden Gate Bridge. And get off the Golden Gate Bridge, and he was talking about 8/11. That was 8/11 last year. And he was saying something's going to happen on the Golden Gate Bridge. And he did all gematria. I've shown that, all the gematria messages and everything he said, even said Clorps and all these things. He said San Francisco, and it's all gematria. It's all a code. And I've shown that in previous videos. And proven it basically, because 8/11 is also 9/11. And by the way, 9/11, by the time you get to September 11th in a year, you've already went through 8 full months and 11 days. So 9/11 is 8/11 already just that way. So he's actually pointing to 9/11 by saying, and guess what? When he put the video up last year, it was on, do I have this right? Yeah, he put it up on 7/11. That's what it was. So he put it up on 7/11 last year about 8/11. And he was warning about 8/11. He put it up literally on 7/11 because he was telling everybody by the date he put it up that 7/11 really is September 11, which is 9/11. And then he was talking about 8/11, and 8/11 is 9/11. Like I said, just by the fact of if you go 8 months into the year and 11 days, you get to September 11th. Because September, we haven't finished September, so you're not 9 months in yet. And that's the 9th month. So that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Then when you go to 9/7, the 7th day, again, 9/7 is also 3/7 is 5/7 is 7/7, and Stinky BO is 7/7, so that's why it's also 9/7. The reason why it would be on the 7th day is because he is 7/7. When priests in the synagogue of Satan, they have a shin on one hand and a shin on the other hand, which is the Hebrew letter shin, and they represent it about their hand. What the Hebrew letter shin is, and I've showed this in other videos, is when Spock just puts his hand up in when Spock or Leonard Nimoy put his hand up in Star Trek, he said, "Live long and prosper." With the hand that he did with, my goodness, if I could speak, the hand that he did, splitting his fingers in the middle like that, it looked like a V with his two main four fingers, and with his thumb out. That's a shin. When you put the two shins together and angle them, it makes a triangle. That's the double shin. That's 7-7. And so Stinky BO is 7-7. In fact, if you look at the triangle on the back of the dollar bill and go up from each row of the pyramid, each row is of basically blocks or whatever, I guess, stones. Each row of stones goes up. It's 13 layers representing the 13 major families, and then he's at the top. He's the capstone, and that's number 14. And so he's also 14. 14 is 7 plus 7. He's 7-7. He's 7. So I'm going to show you in many ways he's 7-7. But this is ultimately 7-7. September 7th is Septem and 7. So he's 7-7. That would be, in a sense, his birth. But his birth is marked out by a death. So what I'm saying is he's going to be attacked and then falsely come back to life. And that's also 5-7, because, again, 5-7 is 7-7, is 9-7, is 3-7. And there's a number of things for that. And I'm going to show you in this video why he's 57. Mr. 57. I've shared many ways he's Mr. 57. I'm going to get into more. Okay, and then 9-8 is also 5-8. Like I said, 3-8 is 5-8, is 7-8, is 9-8, which is also 8-8. Who's 8-8? Well, I call him Trumple, but you know him as Trumpet. No, I'm not going to say his full name all the time because I'm trying not to get shadow banned more. So I'm going to say Trumple, but just Trumple, or without the LE, is 88. Okay. Also, he's also President Trump is 1188, and there's a lot to that. Oh my gosh. In fact, I forgot to mention that. I'm going to talk about that in my next video. In fact, I had someone comment about this lady. I think it's T. Crenshaw or something that has a YouTube channel, and she's been shown by God. She said that she's been shown 1188, and I have the complete answer. I even went to her, after someone commented, I went to her channel and said, I know the answer to this. I know what these dates are. And then she said God also gave her 1866. So he gave her 1188 and 1866. And it's crazy. By the way, I think 11 times 88 is 1866. But whatever. There's so many things I could get into. And I was going to get into that at some point, but I can't get on this video. Maybe I'll do it in the next video, part 2, after I get into this really big thing I want to share. That's incredible. You won't believe it. Okay. Has to do with the Golden Gate and all that stuff. So, but this is when Trumple falls, because he's Mr. 58. Like I said, Stinky BO, like I'm going to show you in this video, he's Mr. 57. Trumple is Mr. 58. I mean, literally, to the point of, Trump Tower having 58 floors, and I mean, all these things. It's just crazy. He had the 58th inauguration of a president. I mean, there's so many 58s. I went all this. I'm not going to go over this in this video. I'm going to go for a bunch more 57s that I haven't shared. I've shared over 50 57s that Stinky BO is. Barack Insane Obama, as I call him many names, because he's that crazy and psycho, and he consumes children, and he's horrible. Anyway, I'm going to go back to 5-7. So 5-7 also is, according to iPad Go, and I've shown this, and look at the previous videos in July, Hawaii comes up out of, in Hawaii. Wow. Lava comes up out of Kilauea in Hawaii, and then Stinky BO is attacked. 5-8 will be the next day. Trumple is gotten rid of, and also the carriers are attacked. Now, the Abraham Lincoln and the Truman are attacked. Maybe other carriers as well. Some people have seen, some prophets have seen Ronald Reagan, because again, Ronald Reagan was shot, but then he didn't die. But the thing about the Truman and just like Ronald Reagan would be similar to the Truman in a sense, the Truman is a true man. And that's the wording you want to say, because both are going to be killed. They represent both presidents. And that's why I have the carriers could actually be attacked either one of these days, or starting in one day, going to the second day. I don't know, but they're linked because each carrier represents a president. So the Lion King, the old Lion King, or Lincoln, Lion King, Lincoln, Lion King, is going to be eliminated completely. So when it's attacked, I guarantee everybody will be killed and it will be done. Unfortunately, I even had a vision of that. I was in an aircraft carrier. I can't explain how incredible it was. I was there. I'm not a service person. I'm not in the Navy or anything like that. Never been in, I mean, I've actually been in an aircraft carrier when I was a teenager, because I used to live in Seattle. And when I was growing up, and I had a chance to tour through different big, huge vessels and stuff, and aircraft carrier is one of them. And I couldn't believe how many things it could fit in the belly of an aircraft carrier, and then bring it up to the top, and all these jets, and even tanks, and I mean all kinds of stuff, and have thousands of people in them, and it's like a little city in there. It's crazy. In fact, that's actually in Revelation, talks about a city that's destroyed, and I believe it's actually talking about a mobile city. And anyway, but carriers are going to be attacked. So the Lincoln represents Trump because it's 72. It's CVN 72. 7 plus 2 is 9. And then Trumple is 45th Pres. 4 plus 5 is 9. So that's the 99 code, which I've shared many times. They're both going to be killed. And then the true man will be attacked, but then there'll be survivors. There'll be survivors. And I don't know how many survivors, but this is what I'm saying. All the stuff I see in predictive programming, the stuff I see in iPad Go, and I've shared a lot of that. I have a lot of stuff that coordinates in iPad Go each other. Even just different scenes and stuff I've shared. Probably 5 or 6 things that coordinate the attack on these different ships. I have different scenes. I have different numbers. In there's a woman with a burqa, and she has got a dead boy on her lap. And he's the Assyrian child with a head wound. The head wound is an egg, which is also a birth. It's a death and a birth at the same time. In the woman's face, there's 44, which is CBO. Or above her head is in the burqa is VD, which is 44. In her crying eyes, it looks like mascara running. It's 45, so they're right by each other within the same day. I have all kinds of other things that show that I've shown. So again, watch those videos if you haven't had a chance. There's a lot in all this stuff. It really is. I can't go through all this stuff in each video. It takes too much time. So then we have 9-9, 9-10, and that's the apple roll. When the Lord showed me the apple roll and how it's a 13-day birthing process, I was totally blown away. He made it very clear. The apple rolls, again, it rolls past the 7. There's an upside down 7, and it touches the 7, it starts spelling out Hawaii backwards. This is an H right here, and it starts spelling Hawaii out backwards. And that's why lava happens, because it's spelling out Hawaii. There's other places, there's scenes in Hawaii, and I bet go where it shows lava. There's one scene with 2 islanders, an islander girl that's pregnant, and behind the islander man, which is head, you can't see his head. It says in the rock, lava and Hawaii, but that's hidden, of course. But I found that. Actually, my wife found one. I found the other. It was really crazy when we were looking at it one time. So anyway, and then right here where it rolls past the C, again, also up right side up, it's LC for 12:3, which is Revelation 12:3 about the dragon. But upside down, it's 7, and then it's still a kind of a backward C. But the apple rolling right over it makes it an 8, so that's the 8th day. Okay, let's go back to here. And then the 9th day makes it, when the apple hits the foot, rolls back, it ends up making an X right here. The stem from the light shining makes an I. In Roman numerals, I from X is 9. It rolls back the other way a little bit, and then that stem goes away, but then this makes another X by itself, which is 10. That's Roman numerals 10. And then this 11 and 12, there's no reason for this, but it splits at 11 because there's an 11 on the leaf, and that's also just the order, of course. And then so 11 and 12. 11 is really synonymous for the tsunamis because it's a twin attack. It's just like hearkening back to, I'm going to talk about that in a second, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was a twin attack. That's because it's about the birth of twins. It's about destruction, birth of twins and destruction. So birth out of destruction, or birth out of death, is what it means. All this stuff is all about birth out of death. And the death must happen for the Antichrist to come, because he needs it be that bad, and it's a big ritual to bring him in, Lucifer into him. So, and it's a process of death. This 13-day process are mega rituals, and the body count is going to exponentially grow as these mega rituals happen. Toward the very end, when you finally have on the 13th, this mushroom cloud as a flower, being several nukes in major cities. And a lot of prophets have had those prophetic dreams and visions and stuff. I have seen some stuff about it, and I've also been shown by all kinds of predictive programming stuff that I can read all this nucleus. So, I mean, this fact, one of my friends, my brother Chris, was just sharing Again, I'd seen it, but I hadn't thought about it. I'm going to look into it more. The series Jericho, and it literally talks about there's a virus and there's nuclear explosions that go off and nuclear bombs that go off in 22 cities, major cities. I don't know how many cities are going to get hit, but there's going to be that many. That's massive predictive programming, that show, to what's coming. I mean, literally, there's a virus and there's nuclear attacks in these major cities. I guess it's after all that happens that this show starts or something. And I'm going to check it out. I never did check it out. I knew some of the predictive programming by just the face of it and the trailer and everything like that years ago. Anyway, so that's worth checking out as well. So you can see kind of what they're going to predictively program you to what's coming as well. And I'm going to check that out at some point. I guess it's on Netflix or whatever. So anyway, keep going here, man. I spent a lot of time on that, more than I wanted to. But okay, now I want to talk about the reason I called this SepTIMBER is because my brother Ken, he's done a video here, a very quick video I asked him to do for me. He put it on his channel as well to remind the people of some stuff he saw, something he saw, a vision he had. And also, like he mentions, there's other prophets that have had this. He says September, but it's about, falls timber. It's like September, like timber, like, trees falling or whatever. Or it's about United States falling. But there's been a couple other prophets, and I know one for sure that's called it SepTIMBER, and that's what they heard, SepTIMBER. He heard September, but like it was timber, But this guy, some others have heard SepTIMBER. So I wanted to include this because he's a wonderful brother of mine, and I want to include this so it can kind of support what I'm saying about SepTIMBER, because, I get prophetic stuff all the time, and I have for a long time, but I try to bring as much as I can to support the truth that I've been shown. That's why I use numbers and examples and predictive programming and media and all that stuff, so I can convince more people. I don't just come on and say, hey, the Lord showed me this stuff, and there you go, and that's the truth. And then people are like, yeah, whatever, what, sure. And then people still do that with what I bring, but, more people see it because the numbers, and they can, use their logical mind, and they can add 2 and 2 and get 4, and, and all that kind of stuff. So, and even though I know a lot of people aren't into numbers, so sometimes and people get headaches by watching the gematria stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's the best I can do is, I even have an inside source now of former Mason and stuff. So, and then I get stuff sometimes, and I have gone things about what's going on and stuff, and what's gone on, and confirming things that I know, and he's confirmed a bunch of stuff that I've learned, and I've been shown by the Lord, and it's amazing. So anyway, so it's all real. It's all contrived. When I say it's real, it's all contrived. It's all planned. None of this stuff's organic. So, but as far as this goes, this is God's warnings through his people, and he'll give you an example of that. So here we go.
Okay, folks, this is going to be very brief, probably about 2 to 3 minutes long, so please bear with me. Back in July, I put out a video called Urgent Update and a Flash Vision, if people recall that. If not, I'm going to go through that very quickly again, because we are very close to September now, and I just wanted to kind of remind people of what I saw. In September of 2017, I was working security at the time, and as I usually did on my patrols, I would pray in the spirit, and for protection, and just basically just pray in the spirit to worship the Lord, kind of just pray kind of quietly to myself as I'm on patrol. And as I walked past a certain area on patrol, I got a sudden flash vision. And it just kind of appeared to me very quickly. And what I saw was trees falling, large sequoia, redwood type trees. And as they fell, it was almost like I could hear it in the spirit. And then I also heard, again in the spirit, SepTIMBER! Just like that, probably even louder. And so it kind of caught me off guard, of course. It was very quick. And it was September 2017, and that was the same time as Hurricane Irma was hitting our area. And I didn't know what year of September. I mean, September 2017 was kind of traumatic for a lot of people. a lot of hurricanes and a lot of, other things. I'd have to look up exactly what it was. But anyway, 2 minutes. Okay, almost done. I got to keep it short so I can help somebody out with this. They want to use this. So anyway, I saw that vision and I kind of just went on about my business. But I just wanted to point that out to people because it caught me off guard. And like I said, I didn't know the year, but I do believe that it is September of 2020 that we're going to have SepTIMBER. And other people have many words about SepTIMBER. Dana Coverstone, Pastor Dana Coverstone, Apostle Charles Turner, Byron Cyril, Looking Toward Heaven for Jesus, Sister Kimmy. Quite a few people, Pastor Benjamin Faircloth, have warnings and words about SepTIMBER. So just want to remind people, don't know what's going to happen, but we're in SepTIMBER almost, and it's getting real close. Okay, you guys have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Ken. I really appreciate that. And man, he's a wonderful man of God. I appreciate him so much. So thank you for putting that together. And it's good to remind people on your channel as well of what's coming. So the chance of some stuff not happening in September, to me, are slim to none. We've heard from several other people, Israeli News Live, Stephen Danoon. He has a lot of sources saying that everybody pretty much is going to know that we're in this. It's pretty much probably, I mean, he pretty much said everybody's going to know that we're in for big trouble as far as the United States and the world in September. So, and he has a lot of different sources. There's all kinds of other people. So it just kind of reiterating what I'm saying. And I want to give people some footing to realize that the specific events that they have planned, pre-planned, because we're talking about Luciferian global elites that are running the world, that are trillionaires. And I like to say, I have a little saying, millionaires control money, billionaires control people, and trillionaires, which you hardly ever hear about or never hear about, they control countries. So that gives you a good idea of where they're at. And them controlling countries and controlling this whole viral epidemic, so-called, right? I'm not going to use all the buzzwords. I'm just saying this so-called viral epidemic that's going on. It's all to bring this all to one world religion, one world government, one world evil dictator, which is Stinky BO. And I have massive amounts of proof. Right now I have 483 solid evidences that Stinky BO is the Antichrist. And I'm going to add some more in this video so you get to see them added here. Boom, let's keep going here. Okay, and I want to throw this in here real quick because talking about this whole event that's going on, this viral epidemic that's going on, and they had a little exercise a few months before it, just a few months before it started, and it was about the same name, had the same name, and they were saying all the stuff that's happening. It's basically the playbook for the whole thing. As Pompeo said, we're in a live exercise here. And then Trump said, well, you should have told us, And that's an act, by the way, also. For people who are watching and looking, that's an act for Trump and everybody. But he was saying the truth because they have to say a certain amount of truth out there before they kill off many people. And that's a spiritual requirement. So they have to mix truth and they have to also hide it in different ways. And that's one of the ways they had to share it. So check this out. Remember, we know who Gil Bates is. I'm just kind of reversing his name. Gil Bates, who has this whole injection and everything on the way, right? Well, it's not a coincidence. I want to show you this. At Event 201, this exercise that happened before the real epidemic happened, his real name, William Henry Gates, just happens to be in the simplest gematria there is. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, 201. That's a massive coincidence. I don't think so. Let me show you. I also want to show you, it's just a little bit of a tangent talking about him and this stuff. Let me show you what he recently put on his own YouTube channel. Show you how wicked this bum is. I got to think of a name for him. I don't have a name for him. I got to come up with a good name for that yahoo. Anyway, here, watch this video. And if this doesn't tell you how sick he is, I don't know what does. It's a good example of what's coming as well. So, yeah, if you get a little frightened about things, you might not want to watch this. It's a little intense for some people. Other people, no big deal because of our culture. But here we go. Nice. I mean, are you kidding? Nice. Very nice. Not okay. Let me go past this. Anyway, that's just. I mean, to me, it gives a little insight into the evilness that is Gil Bates. I mean, seriously, give me a break. So, give me an ever loving break. So, I want to move on from that, but that gives you a little idea. And his name equaling 201. Are you kidding me? Let me show you some more massive coincidence on top of massive coincidence on top of massive coincidence. Man, I've shared this before. George Floyd and the whole rigmarole with that was a message of what's coming. Not only the next month, a few days after his death, the next month, which was all the flooding going on in China, was because George Floyd is George Flood. And I shared how the difference is the E and the Y. E is 5 and Y is 25th letter of the alphabet. Okay, and that's 525. That's when he was killed. This is impossible for this to work out this way unless it's planned. This is what I'm trying to prove to you. He died supposedly on 525, and that's the difference between his name. The Lord one day said to me as I'm doing some stuff at my table in my house, he said, George Floyd is George Flood. And I was like, what? What? Okay, let me get more in depth than I ever have with this. This is crazy. So, again, 5, and then 2 plus 5 is 7. And again, this is another way how Obama is 57. Okay, because it's about his birth, because it's about a flood. Remember I said the flood that began 9/1, okay? And then 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So you put the 3 at 3 Gorge Flood. That's the difference. That was the difference in George Floyd. But you add up these, you compress the numbers, and you get the 3. You put that in, and that's 3 Gorge Flood. So the Three Gorges Dam is in the Three Gorges, and that's a flood. So there's going to be a Three Gorge flood. So that has to do with the dam, is what I'm saying. Okay. Now there's already been a Three Gorge flood in a sense, or just a gorge flood. That's what's going on. In fact, we're in the 5th flood, and we might even go up to 6. We're in the 5th one, major flood. So on the Yangtze River, because of all the rainfall and everything, that's all controlled by the elites. This is all planned, and this thing is going to go. I absolutely guarantee it's going to go. Now it's a matter of what day, and I'm predicting right now it's going to be 9/1, September 1st. Now it's possible because of the numbering and the way they coding this, it could be September 4th, and or even September 11th, or the equivalent to that in later dates, equaling the 1st, 4th, or the 11th. But more likely what I'm saying is it's September 1st, but we'll see. Now let's keep going with this. So now check this out. This is what I did. I highlighted the first letter of G and F in George Floyd and George Flood, and the last letter. These are called first and last letter codes. I've shown this in my videos. They do this quite a bit when it comes to messaging for the Antichrist and what's coming. Let me prove that. So G is 7, the 7th letter of the alphabet. E in George is the last letter. That's 5. Now look at that, 57. See, the 5 and the 7 is backwards. Again, that's how they hide it. So we're talking about 57. Again, that's Stinky B.O. again. I'm going to show you many 57s in this presentation you're going to be blown away by. If you're awake, if you're alive, if you have a pulse, if your eyes are somewhat open to the truth, if they're not, they're closed, they're stuck in the world, good luck with you. God bless you. You really need help. But if you can't see some of this stuff, then no one can help you. F is 6. Okay, D is 4. So if you read that backwards completely, 46, 57, and I've said many, many times, 46 is birth because you get 23 chromosomes from each parent. 23 plus 23 is 46. And also in gematria, birth and born are both 46. And they're different ciphers, okay? And then, of course, 57. So it's born when he's born, okay, birth, for him, he's 57, okay? And it will even be on a day because 5/7 is 7/7, is 9/7, okay? So that keeps going, and it's linked to Gorge Flood as well, his birth. And that's the first day of his birth. Now, if I do it backwards, because that's how they do things backwards. Sometimes I have to show things backwards because that's how they do it, because it's the better way. So sometimes if your name is listed on some things by last name first, or whatever. So it'd be Floyd Gorge is Flood George. No, Floyd George is Flood Gorge. I just did that on purpose. Floyd George is Flood Gorge. So they want to flood the gorge. That's another way of looking at it, because they're going to flood the gorge, okay, with the bridge, okay? But check this out. Do it this way. This is another hidden thing, and I'm going to prove it out by several things. 2, 5, and 5. 2, 5, and 5 is 255. What's 255? They love to do this. They love the days of the year, and I've shown this many times. They love the days of the year in code. The 255th day only on a leap year this year, 2020, or any other leap year, is 9/11. Okay? September, the 11th of September is 255th day only on a leap year. Let me give you some more evidence that this even connects. Okay, you're like, yeah, that's a stretch. I don't know about that. 25 and 5 is 255. Well, what about this? George Floyd is in simple gematria straight. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, English ordinal 119. Are you kidding me? And then look at George in gematria. See this? George in simple gematria is 57. So we have 57 represented several times, first and last letter code. We have 57, and the difference between George Floyd equals Gorge Flood. And of course, 57 is him because that's revealing him. And guess what? George Floyd, like I said, he was a type of Antichrist in that he is a black man that was killed, planned to be killed. And that's what's going to happen to Stinky B.O. He's going to be killed, and then he's going to actually come back to life. Well, George Floyd probably won't come back to life, but he still could. I'm sure it's fake and everything. The whole thing is fake, but I doubt he'll come back to life. But anyway, here we go. Next. So George Floyd is also, guess what? Backwards, it's 5, and then 1 plus 4, 7, and then 1 plus 4 is 5. Backwards is 57. But first, it's also 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 4 is 84, and 57. Okay, I'm going to show you something crazy about this. So I shared this in Obama's connected to more than 50 mass murderers, or famous murderers, I should say. In that you got to watch those if you want to know this at all. All these murders have the 84 code, and you won't believe all this stuff and all their names and everything. Is crazy, and which is absolutely impossible. It's absolutely off the charts impossible. And the fact that George Floyd, what I'm going to show you is how George Floyd and his so-called killers, 4 police officers that had to do with his death, okay, which is all staged, just like all these ritual killings, like I've shared in those two, part 1 and part 2. In the description box, pinned in the top of comments, that this is all planned because these are rituals that they need to do to promote the numbers, to for all their rituals that they need to do to have blood sacrifice, all kinds of stuff. Then they harvest people's gematria to put that out to the masses for predictive programming to move along the path towards getting to one world government, one world religion, one world evil dictator. So George Floyd is 84 and 57. And I'm going to show you how not only he is, the other 4 officers, so-called, that had to do with his death are also. They're 84 and 57. Okay? But first, I want to show you how George Floyd is also 58. So remember the 7th and 8th day? Remember I said Stinky B.O. is 57 and then Trumple is 58? Those are also days. 57 is the 7th day. 58 is the 8th day. And so even encoded in his death, his name and his death, are these different attack days. Even what's 634? 634 is 94. 6 plus 3 is 9, and then 4. 9-4. Remember I said 9-4 was the meteor and all that stuff? These are all encoded in these things. And that's what they do. They bring out these different things, and encoded in them are several different of the attack days. Sometimes it's a couple, sometimes it's all, sometimes it's one. Yeah, I got a little dry throat here. 1 second here. Okay, had a little drink. He keeps going. So one of the officers, Derek Chauvin, 57, if you can believe it. Derek Chauvin also, reverse English Sumerian, is 121 is 4, and 8, 84 backwards. Tao Theo, however you say his name, is, look, 5, 3 plus 4 is 7. It's also, I keep saying this back, I gotta wait for these slides. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 4 is 84. This one's crazy. Some of these numbers, when they do this is definitely planned. How 534 is 84 and 57 is crazy. I mean, that is massively planned right there. for that to happen, and in relation to these other guys and their victim, I don't think so. Not even close. So far, I got 2 of the 4 guys and George that are both numbers. J. Alexander Kung, however you say it, is, look, remember I showed you 58. That was, George Floyd was 58, and that's pointing to the 8th day. And then this is one of the ways they do it as well. It's 1 times 57 is 57. Okay, and that's 5-7. And then we have 1 plus 3. That's just showing 58 again. I wanted to show the 58 as well. And then we have 216, which is 216th day of the year, is 8-4, August 4th. Okay, that's crazy. And then we have also another attack day is 9/12. Remember, we have 9/11 and 9/12 are both the tsunami days, because 9/11 is on the West Coast time and 9/12 is on the East Coast time. So, and then the last guy, Thomas Lane, is 3 plus 4 is 7, and then 5, or 57 backwards. Thomas Kernan Lane, which is his full name, is 279. 7 plus 9 is 16. 216 is the 216th day of the year, which is 84. Boom. Okay, I had another. I should have. This is the Three Gorges Dam. I actually put this right over the top of this, but just give you an idea how this has to do with his birth. The reservoir saw an overflow, and this was actually from a couple days ago. The reservoir saw an inflow of 75,000 cubic meters per second. Again, 75,000. 75 is 57 backwards. Has to do with stinky BO, okay, per second at the peak of flood, and the maximum outflow. You can see the outflow coming off the dam. In fact, I was going to show you a slide with just the dam and then this thing, but I missed that, I guess. Yep, I missed that. Okay. Anyway, but that's the dam. That's the outflow. So the inflow from that's backing up the dam is rising, and it's the timing for September 1st could be perfect for all this, and I've said this for a while. So we got 57 backwards and 75,000, because you take away the zeros, they don't include zeros. And then check this out. And then the maximum outflow, with you see all these gates being open right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gates being open. That's the most I've ever seen that they've done. And this was at that time. Is outflow is 49.4 cubic meters per second. Why is this important? Because anything you add 9 to stays the same. So you just cross out the 9. We have 44. Or another way of doing it, just in case you didn't know how that works, 4 plus 9 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. 44. Stinky B.O. is the 44th Prez, and he's Mr. 57. Okay, are you kidding me? Again, this is about his birth. That's why they're doing all these numbers this way, and I'm going to prove it even more. So, as of August 21st, a few days ago, it was up to this level. In fact, I looked at it since, and it's a few more meters up from here, but this is a graphic that I found to show this, okay? So it's really high. In fact, when it gets to 175, I'm going to show you how that's the dam collapse alert. That's their top marker that they have. This is basically as high as the dam is, and that's what they're saying. It would definitely collapse, but they're saying that it could collapse at this point, and we're getting very close. And day by day, and there's even more rain coming and more rain happening already. This is all planned. They're probably going to, my guess is they're going to have an earthquake go off that they're going to produce with the weapons they have in either space or whatever it is, satellite weapon or whatever, it's HARP on the ground. I don't know, but they're going to hit this with that and say an earthquake happened and that's going to collapse the bridge or something like that. Okay, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. This bad boy is going to collapse. I'm guessing that's going to be September 1st. Or the second one will be September 4th, or the last one will be September 11th on the farthest out, or some equivalent to those numbers later in that month. Like I said, the 19th, the 22nd, or the 29th, so-called. Okay, so just so you know that. Now let's keep going. Now here's their markers. Again, this is the top of their marker. In fact, the bridge is the dam is just above that a little bit. So this is their top marker. Well, is it a coincidence that it's 175? No, because why? 1 times 75 is 75. Because this is how they do this. And it's backwards 57. And that would be his birth. And so what I'm saying is, what I think what they're saying here is when it gets to this threshold is when it's going to break, because that's his birth. His 57 is his birth, and that's 5. And it could also be on 5-7 or I should say 9, because 5-7 is 7-7 is 9-7. Okay, that's what I'm speculating. It could be 5-7, but like I said, it's more likely the numbers. Let me show you why in the numbers. Because Three Gorge Flood, even though it's Three Gorges Dam, I got this out of the George Floyd. Okay, and I'm gonna show you different ways. Three Gorge Flood is 999. Okay, and that upside down, they do things upside down, backwards, or both. Upside down and backwards, 999 is 666, which has to do with the Antichrist and of course his birth. And Three Gorge Flood is also 57 again. So I showed you how George was 57. The first letter code for George was 57. All these things were 57. And then here it is, Three Gorge Flood that I got out of the George Floyd thing is 57. Not possible. Not possible. And then check this out. Three Gorge Flood also in simple gematria is 17 or 7-1 backwards. And remember, SepTIMBER is 7. SepTIMBER is Latin for 7. But we call it the 9th month because that's their little trick, the elite's little trick. They're on the 7th month, we're on the 9th month, and they can play with it. And they do all kinds of stuff with other months as well because they can. Okay. And then technically, Three Gorges Dam is what it's called. It's still 71. Okay. It's again September 1st. Three Gorges is 17, which is 7-1 backwards. Three Gorges Dam is also, again, look how this exactly matches what you saw up there. Remember the threshold that we just saw, the marker was 175 kilometers or kilometers. Meters. Sorry, meters, not kilometers. That's too far. Meters. It was 175 meters, right? Because 1 times 75 is 75. Backwards is 57. That's exactly matches the threshold that I showed you there, the picture. Are you kidding me? What are the chances of that? There's too many chances. And then look at this. In reverse gematria, okay, Gorges is 91, September 1st. There's so much in each of these numbers usually. It's insane. Okay, and then Gorges Dam, okay, and look at this. English gematria is 71 for Gorges. Reverse English gematria is 91. Because 9-1 is 7-1. See, that's another evidence that that's the case of what I'm saying. And then Dam is 18, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And I just showed you 666 earlier. I mean, are you kidding me? This is all over. And then Gorges Dam is also 5. Remember? 5. This is that same number again. Let me do this. Actually, 5. 3 plus 4 is 7. That's 57. And it's also that same number as that one police officer. 5 plus 3 is 8 and 4, and that's his birth, 84. It's 84 and 57 is Gorges Dam. Okay, then this thing is on the Yangtze River. Okay, why? Well, Yangtze is all particularly programmed as well. This is all gematria in English. Again, it's in Chinese, originally in Chinese, but it's somebody translated these to English. I wonder who. It's going to be Satan? Anyway, so 8, 4, okay, 1 plus 7 is 8, 4. So that's again, because also the Yangtze River, when this happens, is going to be a murderer. A lot of people, it already is. It already has been. Well, they caused it to be, but it's a murder weapon, basically, in a sense. And then 5-7, Yangtze River is 5-7. It's also 5-1. Why is 5-1 important? Because 5-1 backwards, 15 is 5-1 backwards. 5-1 is 7-1 is 9-1, like I said before. And then this is 6 plus 7 is 13, so that's 113. That's just showing the later code of the tsunamis, because 113 is 311, is 511, and 711 is 911. And then we have 7-1, 5-1 is 7-1, and then we have 1 times 44, which is 44, the 44th Prez, who is 84. And another reason why I say it could be the 4th day is because 1 times 74 is 74, or September 4th, Septem, Latin 4. So, or it could just be foreshadowing, like I said, it's showing an 11, so the tsunami days. It also be talking about one of the very first, I believe, the United States attack day, which is the 4th day, which should be the first United States attack day, is what I'm guessing. So, also Yangtze is 3-1. Remember, 3-1 is 5-1 is 7-1, and then look, we have 7. If this is 7, or even just give an example of a future attack day, like all these are, 7-4 is 9-4. This is crazy. And then we have 1 times 57, which is, remember there's 57 again. I'm going to show you so many 57s, your head's going to spin, I'm sure. So, or 1 times 57, or even 1 plus 57 is 58. And I'm going to show you that later. Obama literally says 57 plus 1 more. And he's doing code for him plus 1 more is Trump. And it's also plus 1 more president. And then he is the Antichrist, or it's his birth. That's what he's showing. That's what he's talking about. It's 1 inauguration, the 57th inauguration, the last one of Obama, then 1 more inauguration, 58, and then he comes back being the 8th king in Revelation 17. The reason why he's the 8th king, he's the 6th king who went away because the 7th king came on the scene. The 7th king's time is cut short. That's Trump. He's going to be taken out. Then the 6th king comes back and becomes the 8th king. Why are those presidents? Because the first king is Jimmy Carter, because he was the first American president to line up peace with Israel in the Middle East. That's why. And that's why God's going to get rid of, that's why these judgments are coming, for all this stuff. That's why Trump is going to be taken out and it's going to be let happen. So, and to see the American public and everything, he's going to be a Trojan horse for Christians and conservatives, because he's going to start World War III basically before that happens. And then he's going to be taken out. And then everybody's going to blame Christians and conservatives for electing Trump and this psycho dude and these psycho Christians that elected the psycho dude, and they're going to be going after them. Last one is 612 exactly backwards is 216. 216th day of the year is 8/4. August 4th. Boom. Well, what more reasons is Obama Mr. 57? Like I've shared several already. I'm sharing more. I've shared now with this video 50 some, if not 60. Let me show you some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, F, G. The technology, G is really 7, so that's all over the place in media and everything, and that's 5, 7. Why is 5, 7 all over the media, hidden in 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, A, B, C, D, F, G. I have to say it that way, the technology, because 57 is simple gematria birth. No way. Yes way. Check this out. Let me give you one example of many I'm going to show you here. Barack and Michelle Obama reportedly closed deal for $11.75 million Martha's Vineyard estate. Are you kidding me? 11.75. So that's 57 backwards. And I'm not going to get into other things except to say that 7 plus 5 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And that's backwards is 311, because he's Mr. 311. I showed that in part 2 of the famous murderers one, which you got to see how his birthday equals 311 or 11/3. It's insane. There's so much more in here. Martha's Vineyard is first letter code MV, which is 44. M is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. V is 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's showing that. There's so many things in here. I'm not getting everything. But look at this 29-acre estate. 2 is broken up, is hidden, 1, 1, 9. So forwards and unhidden is 9, 11. That's shown here. VL, even this guy's name, so it's probably not even a real person. VL is 22. L is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. That's 322 backwards, skull and bones. And then look at Hendrickson. Hendrickson is 57. There's more 57s, and they keep coming. Watch this. You think I just got started? You think I'm done? I just got started. That's what I'm going to say. Obama said back in 2013, I've now been to 57 states. And there's a whole long thing I'm going to get into here. Okay, so as reported by Reuters, Obama was howdying a crowd in Beaverton, Oregon on May 9th. Oh, this is actually 2008. That's what it was, because he was campaigning. May 9th, 2008, when he said, "It is wonderful to be back." I'm not going to try to say his voice. I mean, I could do sometimes. "It is wonderful to be back in Oregon. Over the last 15 months, we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go, Alaska and Hawaii. Alaska and Hawaii, I was not allowed to go, even though I really wanted to visit, but my staff would not justify it." Now, this is just so much in this. Forget the fact that we have 57, okay, because he says 57 states right here, right? And then remember this. Remember 5-1 is 7-1 is 9-1. So he's saying his birth on 5-1 backwards, and his birth also on the 7th day, 5-7. Remember I showed you the 7th day is 57. Now, there's so much in this. It's just crazy. Now, he does say this is, so people think this is a gaffe. No, this is his code, because he said 57 states, I think one left to go. So that would make it 58, which is one president left to go, because he's Mr. 57. Okay, as far as inaugurations, and then one left to go would be him, and then it's done. This is all code, and I'm going to prove it in many ways. Also, he said one left to go. So one left to go would be 58, right? Well, he also said Alaska and Hawaii, I was not allowed to go, even though I really wanted to visit, but my staff would not justify. That's 2 more states. So if there's one left to go and you can't go to 2 of them, I mean, seriously, the reason why he said Alaska and Hawaii were 2, because if you take those 2 from the real 50 states, it's 48 states, and backwards, that's 84. So he's saying he's 84, his birth, that's his birth. He's saying that, he's pointing to birth. 57's birth, 51 is birth. There's so much to this. There's just so much to this. Even more than that, check this out. So if you just take 57 states, well, why would they just mark out 57 states? Because it's been used. If you just put in Obama 57 or 57 states, you'll see this gap, and it's all over the place. It's not really a gap. It's a coded message. It's what they do. The elites do coded messages in everything they say almost every single day. If you actually look at everything Trump says, and I've shown this many times, I just don't want to chronicle it every single time. In all his speeches and everything, he says all kinds of things that are against God. He'll say one thing, and then the next sentence will say something that sounds similar, but it's different. I mean, it's just all the time, and it proves he is false. It proves it many times over, and I've showed some of those. I just don't want to keep doing this because I got other agendas. Okay, that Lord's showing me. So 57 states is 5. In English Gematria, 5, 1 plus 6 is 7. 57 states is also, again, we have the 5-7 and the 8-4 code. Okay, 8-4 backwards. 2 boom. Reverse English and English. Crazy. Okay, not impossible. Okay, even more. Beaverton, Oregon is 5. They do this sometimes scramble too. 5, 1 and 6 is 7. Most of the time it's in order, or backwards or whatever, but sometimes it's 5 and then 1 plus 6 is 7. And I'll give you an example of that. But look at this. 5, 1, 6, and then we have 5, 1, and 6. Okay, you see how this relates. You can see it. It's just a little bit scrambled. They do that. And then look at this. This is crazy. In Beaverton, Oregon is 444. In English Gematria is what? I'm going to tell you in a second. Beaverton is not a coincidence, because that's 216 backwards, which is 8-4. 216. Again, I'm going to say this a bunch of times, but 216th day of the year is August 4th. Right backwards. And what's 444? Lucifer in English Gematria. This is all impossible for this to work out like this. Are you hearing me? And if I don't cover up the mic anymore, I don't know how to do that with my hands. Don't even realize it. Sorry about that. If I cover up the mic. So isn't this crazy? Okay, here we go. Keep going. And then, so what I did was, because 57 states is literally 57 in itself, so it's not, if you take the number 57, and that's how they quote it. They don't spell out 57 states in these articles. They just say 57. They literally, see, they don't spell out 57. And that's another reason. Why wouldn't they spell out 57? F-I-F-T-Y, S-E-V-E-N. Why do they have to do the numbers? That's just what they do. Because it's a way of doing gematria. So in this is 57, and that's 57. So they're showing it twice. And now what I did was I took out this phrase 57 states, because I'm like, that's already gematrized like twice, right? 57 and 57 states is 57. So this is what they do, and I've shown it many times in my videos. So I took it out. So now it says, it is wonderful to be back in Oregon. Over the last 15 months, we've traveled to every corner of the United States. Now I've been in. I took out that part. 57 states. I think one left to go. Alaska and Hawaii. I was not allowed to go, even though I was really wanting to visit and all that stuff. And what's this? 2 plus 6 is 8. 1 plus 3 is 4. 84. Are you kidding me? And that's not even it. There's more. Look it up here. Remember that 29 in his estate was 29. Remember, it was 29 acres or whatever in that estate. There's 29 again. And why is that? Because it's 9. 1 and 1 is 2. Listen, if you want to hide 9/11, you do it a few ways. So let's say that's your attack. Let's say you're a sinister psychopath from hell, okay? And you want to hide 9/11. You're going to make it 9/2, and you're going to then turn that backwards and make it 2-9 and put 2-9 all over the place. Or you're going to go 9-1-1 and turn it upside down and backwards, because 9s and 6s and 1s do that. Upside down and backwards, you're going to make it 1-1-6. Or even hide even more, you make it 1-8-8, because 8 plus 8 is 16. That's 1-1-6. Upside down and backwards is 9-11. Things like that. So then, and then look at this. It's not only 209 letters, which is 9-11 backwards, it's also 58 words. And he says right here, 57 states, I think, with one left to go. So that would make it 58, and there's 58. Again, I'm showing you things on top of each other, bam, 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 right by each other, after each other, with each other, that are impossible by themselves almost. And then when you add them all together, just off the charts impossible. Hopefully you can see this. If you can't see this, there's not much hope for you, unless maybe you just don't know numbers. Okay, so then, but as far as if you know numbers at all, I mean, if you have any kind of understanding of numbers at all, if you knew how to do numbers in high school and college or whatever, then you should understand this. This is absolutely numerically impossible. Not only, and all the other things I'm going to show you. So here, check this out. And this is the whole thing, but I just couldn't include it in this whole thing right here. But it's the whole phrase minus the 57 states, because there it is. 2613, which is 84. Then look at this. Now you take away the 9, because anything you add to 9 stays the same. Or you can do 9 plus 5 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5, 7. 1 plus 4 is 5, 7. And then I added these because this is crazy, because it shows you his birth that's coming. So 84 is the birth, 5, 7 is birth, 5, 7. And then check this out. 3 plus 4 is 7. And then 2, just like 9, 2. 7, 2 is 7-11. And also, this is another way to hide 9-11. 9-11 is 9 times 11, which is 99. 99 is 9-11, because it's 9 times 11, which is 99. Also, right here, again, 2 plus 5 is 7, 6 plus 5 is 11, 7-11. And that's why this is 7-11. Again, these numbers help confirm each other. That's why multiple ciphers that I prove they use confirm each other, or they show you different aspects of the same story or different things. Okay. And then here we go. Let's go to this one. Why did he say Alaska and Hawaii? Well, obviously they're the farthest to most, but he could have said anything else. He could have said we didn't go there or this way or whatever, and he said even a reason why. But he said Alaska and Hawaii because they're also the same as the 7-11 and 9-11. It's 115. 2 is really 11. 5-11. There you go. There's the 29 again, which is 9-11. 5-11. 9 plus 6 is 15. 115. And then just for good measure, I decided to throw in this again. It's 84. I mean, are you kidding me? Hopefully you see all this. Let's keep going. How else is he 57? Former President Barack Obama referred to himself 75 times during his farewell speech to... okay, let me say that again. 75 times during his farewell speech, compared to just 3 self-referenced by President Donald Trump. Now, this is crazy, okay? There's so much in here. Of course, he's 57 because it's Barack Obama. He referred to himself 75 times. 57, that's Barack Obama. It's referring to him. Also, 5 plus 7, I've said this in previous videos. 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. He's also 3. And in the Hebrew Strongs, 3 is Abaddon, Lord of the Bottomless Pit. And that's what's coming up soon as well. I mean, he's also 93. 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then again, like I said, he's 84. 8 plus 4 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Because ultimately he's 3 because they want to go from the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid, which is 9 to 3. Anyway, wow. And then look at this. See, this has nothing to do with it, right? This has to do with his farewell speech. Again, they manufacture reasons to do gematria to program people. This is farewell speech regarding the 75 times during his farewell speech. Farewell speech is 75, 57 backwards. Okay? I mean, seriously, there it is. I'm showing you double evidence on each thing. Obama proposes $75 billion for universal preschool. And you go, yeah, sure, that's just a coincidence. It's really 70, well, 5, 7 backwards, yeah, whatever, I'm not sure. Well, 66, I've shared how he is 6, 66, and 666. And there's just so much in there. I'm not getting to it. But look, in quotes, I've shared this many times. Gematria is also in quotes, preschool for all. Remember, we have the 75, Preschool for all is 1 times 75 is 75. It's 75. 1 plus 6 is 75. 5 and 4 plus 3 is 7, 57, because these are all 57 backwards. 75 is 57 backwards. That's 57. And then again, just for good measure, 4, 8, 84 backwards. Are you kidding me? Impossible. Impossible. For preschool for all, and that's the subject matter of the 75 billion. Impossible. Check this out. Barack Obama. Tonight, our next president, as Joe Biden made his case for his vision for his country and his plan to get there. I'll be doing everything I can over these next 75 days. Are you kidding me? Why? Because 75 is 57, which is JoeBiden.com is 57. Because it's him talking about it. How about this one? Final chapter of Obama economy drew that much closer to its end on Friday. The final jobs report of the 44th president's time in office, that report showed the 75th straight month of job growth. I mean, why not 74? Why not 70? Why not? They made this number up of job. First of all, we all know it's a bunch of joke anyway. I mean, give me a break. 75 months of job growth in this guy's economy? I don't think so. What a lie from the pit of hell. Okay, but look, 75. And what are we talking about? The Obama economy. Obama economy is 7. 3 plus 2 is 5, or 57 backwards. And that's what he said. 75th straight, 75 or 57, 57 backwards. I mean, this just goes and goes. I could probably do it for hours, but I'm just doing it for some of these. Look, that was 2 more there. Social media meme says 75 have joined food stamp rolls for every job created under Barack Obama. Again, why 75? Why not 70? I mean, and who would know that that's the... I mean, no one goes and looks at all the facts anyway. It's all bogus information anyway, so they just make up what they want. So they're going to make it 57. Of course, because he's Mr. 57. Okay, this is proof. I got 2 proofs this time. Okay, why? Because what's the subject matter? Food stamp rolls. Okay, is one of the subjects. Food stamp rolls. Look, 1 plus, they could do 1 times 74, or they could do 1 plus 74. 1 plus 74 is 75. Are you kidding me? Now look at the other subject is social media meme. Social media meme is, guess what? 7. 1 plus 6 is 7. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 7, 5. 7, 5. 7, 5, which is 57 backwards. This is all chance, right? Nope. You got to be completely dense not to see this. Okay, Barack Obama wrote a letter with his former presidential seal, whatever that is. Okay, because it's really the phoenix rising, and it's carrying 13 of this and 13 of that because it's the 13 days of birth. On the occasion of 75th anniversary of atomic bombings, I want to extend my warm greetings to the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki as you mark this solemn anniversary. Now, why is this important? Think about it for a second. August 6th. 8-6. Think about 8-4. August 4th. Oh, they're really close. A couple days away. Well, even more than that. So from the bombing of Hiroshima, which is August 6th, I think Nagasaki was 3 days later, which is August 9th, which is 69, which is 23, 23, 23. I mean, there's so much to this. I can get into so many things. It's ridiculous. Okay, but from that attack, or the first attack, and there were twin attacks there, to his birthday this year, what was it now? A couple weeks ago now, almost, or more than a couple weeks ago now. Okay, look at this. This is insane. This is literally 74 years, 11 months, and 30 days. Isn't 11 months and 30 days? Isn't 30 days in a month? I mean, close enough. I mean, that crazy. So shouldn't that be 75 years? Yeah, pretty much. Now I did the calculations. See, it depends on how you do the calculation, because there you go. They're doing it by the calendar, and if you do it by days. Now I did it by days. Now check this out. If you take 75 years, because he's Mr. 57, okay, 75 years times 365.25 days, because we have 365 days a year, but every 4th year we have a leap year, which makes up for that 0.25 for 4 years. So that's an extra day. That's why I have an extra day in February. So if you take 75 years times 365.25, you get 27,393 and some change. And look, 27,393. And we're not even quite to the next day yet. So that is 75 years. 75 years is 57. He's Mr. 57. That's why he sent that letter. I'm making my case everywhere I go. Hopefully you see it. You better wake up because he's coming. He's coming back. I absolutely guarantee it. This psycho mass murderer, child, oh my gosh. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to get into that. Child consumer. Man. And then, remember, he sent that letter I just showed you? And remember, it was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which was 75 days, when you include the day, 75 years, which is 57 backwards, to the day of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So exactly 75 years later from Hiroshima was this. He's Mr. 57 again because I paused iPad Goat, the actual video from Heliofont, at 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Thank you, Liberty Justice. Thank you so much. I paused it at 5 minutes and 7 seconds, and it's 57. He's Mr. 57 again, and that connects to him being the Antichrist. And I already proven he's Mr. 57, so this is the Antichrist. Can you see that? Exactly 75 years to the day. There wasn't a full day yet. Exactly 75 years to the day, which is 57 backwards, was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which he sent a letter by. And there was a nuke, there was a tactical nuke that hit Beirut on his birthday. And he's not the Antichrist. Wake up. All of you who are sleeping, wake up. This is your warning. And you think, oh man, you think he's not coming back? He's been making appearances regularly. He just did again at the DNC. It's every month now. More than that, maybe every few weeks now. He's coming back. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee it. And you better wake up. Better wake up. And why am I all of a sudden just like passionate about this? Because he's a murderer and he's going to lock everybody in the system with this fake epidemic and everything else that's coming. And you better wake up. And if you don't know Jesus right now, you better get to know him. You better make him your best chum. You better beg for, if you don't know him yet, you better come to him. I'm telling you, it's the best thing for your life already, even without this. This is not about fear. I have no fear whatsoever. Literally, I go to the store every single day, different stores. Everybody's wearing a mask except for me. I mean, I knew I was different. I knew I was a different dude, okay? But when I go to a store and everyone's wearing a mask, because they're either scared or they have to do it or they're just a bunch of sheeple. I mean, whatever. I am never going to do it on my dead body because I serve one master, and that's Jesus. I don't serve the master of the state. I never will. And on my dead body, on my family's dead bodies, will I ever allow that? Never. I'm submitting to him. In fact, I'm going to show you that what you're actually submitting to if you wear a mask. And I'm going to be that bold. If you wear a mask and go into a store, you're submitting to him. Just like all the world leaders did, just like Trump did, as I showed in a video on July 11th, 7/11. He wore a mask for the first time in Walter Reed, and Walter Reed in English gematria is 666. Are you kidding me? You can't make this stuff up unless you're demons. Okay, next. Wait till you see this stuff. Woo! Okay. This is Stinky B.O., so-called. And listen, his whole life, so-called, is orchestrated, is photo ops, and I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove this. It's all BS. Barry Soetoro. And Barry Obama, a bunch of Stinky B.O. In fact, he was Barry Soetoro, and then he was Barry Obama, and then he was Barack Obama. And the Lord told me that when he became Barack Obama, when the CIA finally gave him his official name of Barack Obama, he had to be a murderer. He had to prove himself as a murderer. And I don't even know what that's all about. No idea. But he had to be a murderer, and maybe multiple murders. I don't know. I don't know what he did, but he had to earn it. The Lord told me that. Jesus did. And I'm telling you, it's the case. I believe him. Okay, so check this out. Here he is, his 23, because he's Mr. 23, because 2 times 3 is 6, because I said he's 6. He's 6, 66, and 666. And 2 divided by 3 is 0.66666, okay? And many other reasons. So anyway, he's 23, and over here is 31, referring to backwards, because from him it's 1-3, his birth taken 13 days, but there's more. Look at here. See this guy right here? He's number 3, and this guy's number 22, 322. Skull and bones. Are you kidding me? That's all a coincidence? No, it's not. It's all planned, and it's all demonic. It's all photo op and everything. And let me show you. Here you go. Boom. This is the only picture I could find of any Halloween costume he had, and it was a pirate. And immediately I knew what it was. Immediately. Look, why? Because it's Skull and Bones. And look, 322, Skull and Bones, Yale, Skull and Bones, right there. And this poor, I mean, listen, I know he's a clone. And whether you know that or not or believe that or not, it doesn't matter. He is. He's a boy, and he's probably a Baphomet, a female and a male together, because he was cloned that way. That's what I think the Lord told me as well. It's weird when you believe that. Anyway, so, and then pirate, if you can believe it. What's pirate? Pirate is 255 in Jewish gematria. Remember what 255 was? Wait, I didn't have that. Oh, I thought I had that in here. I didn't put it in here, but 255, remember, was the 255th day of the year, only on a leap year. So that's why this is the year, is 9/11. His birth to the world, which starts the 13-day process and then goes through 9/11 and everything else. Anyway, there's even more than this. Check this out. So this is some kind of funky picture that also surfaced, and this is supposed to be him too. See, I don't believe it because it's horrible. This is, listen, I used to be a graphic designer. I did it for a few years. I went to school for it. I know Photoshop. I mean, I use Photoshop all the time. I've actually taken pictures and made them look like other things, and people were completely fooled to a massive degree. I mean, because I had to just, change things or whatever, take things out of a picture that, no one needed to know, or personal information or whatever. I was able to do that seamless, without people knowing, right? But this is some horrible Photoshopping. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, first of all, look how in good shape he is and everything. He's got this. This is not him. In fact, reason why is because, first of all, it's a really bad quality photo. There's no other better quality photo of this that I can find. Okay, this face is crooked, and his chin is so huge right here. It doesn't fit in his face. It just does not. It looks really, really bad. In fact, it's tilted. The face inside the head is tilted to the left. It's not right. Everything is not right about it. The picture in itself, the hair, everything seems right. The face has been planted in there. I can see it from a mile away, and I know this stuff. Again, I have one of the biggest attention to detail that I've ever, more than anybody I've ever known. But because the Lord gives me this attention to detail, especially since I've been a believer, and I see these things, and I see the movement, I see the flow. I see the things that a lot of people don't see. I'm not magnifying myself at all. I'm just saying that's just what I do. It's what I do. It's what I'm doing right now. I see these things. It's really crazy. And then check this out. We have 5, 2 plus 3, and 2 plus 5 is 7. 5, 7. He's 57. He's also 54 and 53. Remember that? 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. 57. 54 is the other tactic, because 5-4 is 7-4 is 9-4. And then we have 54 plus 7 is 11. 5-11. I mean, are you kidding me? This is all planned. It cannot be this way. This is listen, if you find another picture of him as another Halloween picture, let me know, because I could not find it. I had other people look too, and they could not find it. Find one. So the fact that he has a pirate skull and crossbones on, I mean, are you kidding me? That's not a coincidence. I mean, seriously. With all the stuff that I know, all the stuff, pirate is 255. I mean, seriously. And again, remember, 255 is the 255th day of the year, which only on a leap year is 9/11. Plus, it's also backwards is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. We're making him 57 again. As a kid. As a poor little kid. Poor little clone kid. Poor little clone kid. I got to come up with a song. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, my heart breaks for people. It really does. And it breaks for this little, whatever this little kid was, that they used him and they made him do what he did. They brainwashed him. They probably tortured him. I don't know. I don't want to think about it, what they did to this kid. Whether he's a clone or whatever. Male and female together. I mean, I don't know, whatever. You know, that's what I think the evidence shows and what the Lord told me. It's crazy to believe this stuff. But the world is crazy. Look how you think this is crazy. Look how crazy the world's getting. I mean, everybody's wearing a mask when they're shopping. I mean, are you kidding me? Did you bargain for all this stuff? I didn't. But I was told ahead of time, 5.5 years ago, that stuff was coming down and this stuff's on the way. And I knew people were going to be taking an injection years before it happened. I knew certain things. I didn't think that everybody would buy a virus so easily, especially with hardly any evidence whatsoever and tons of information on the internet that proves it otherwise. I mean, are you kidding me? Sick. What a sick world we live in. I'm tired of it. Anyway, look at this. To show you how much they concoct this stuff, look at this picture. Can you see this picture? What's wrong with this picture? Look at it very closely. Okay? If you don't see it, I'll let you pause it. If you really are one of those kind of people that like to see the thing that doesn't belong, and you know what thing doesn't belong in this picture. Okay, so pause it if you don't, because I'm going to blow it for you right now. Okay, look at even closer. I'm going to wait to pause it. What's wrong with this picture? Hopefully you see it. And this shows you how they doctor and Photoshop these pictures, because there's no original I could find. This is the original. If you can find an original, please send it to me or provide me a link. I'd like to see it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But but there's no reason to Photoshop this and to make this if you're trying to there's no reason to. And this is what's been accepted. This is what's been shared to everybody. There's no reason to share this. In fact, there's been several different sources that have looked at this and said, this is messed up. And they know this is the original. I mean, okay, unless you can find the original, I want to see it. But this has been Photoshopped, and I can see where it's been Photoshopped. It's been Photoshopped right in here. A couple of different spots. I can tell by knowing how this works. In here, I can see some of the things. It's very good. It's very good. But it's a really low quality picture. So when you get down to the pixels, and a low quality picture, the pixels, this whole picture is pixelized. I mean, you can see it. It's not really a picture anymore. It's literally a pixeled picture because it's definitely digitally. It's been put out into the public as a digital picture, super digitized and low quality. So you can just change each pixel to where you want. And maybe even AI can do it even better than a regular person. I don't know. But what's going on with this? Okay, time's up. Boom! His mother has a black hand. His white mother, very white mother, so-called, not really his mother. He is a clone and with DNA from Akhenaten and other royal blood. But mostly he looks just like Akhenaten. He's Akhenaten, basically. And he matches him in gematria and everything else. Look at that black hand that's touching him. And see, that is touching his shirt and the way it is. And his arm. And this is not, as far as I can tell, Photoshopped. But this is Photoshopped. In fact, this arm doesn't even meet up with the hand at the wrist. It's a little higher. Anyway, so you look at that. That's great. That's proof that's more proof that his past has been completely altered. It's crazy. Let's just keep going. Okay, so let me show you more proof. So this is this ridiculous doctored face picture. Okay, completely doctored. I mean, these people, real people. Who knows who this guy is? He's got a physique. Look at his physique. We're gonna watch this. Look at his arms. Look at his legs. All this stuff. I'm gonna show you proof that it's doctored. Now look at this picture. This is supposed to be him as well. This face is ridiculously altered. His face looks like a cartoon face on a cartoon head. Can't see that? Let me show you. So this face has been added to here. I mean, look at this massive chin that he does not have. See this massive chin? Look at that tiny little chin. Look how narrow it is right there. I'm gonna show you right up front. Oh, before I do that, wait. I'm gonna wait for a second to compare these two because I'm gonna show you. But look at this funky hand. Can you see that? Look at it. It's all dark in the background. Yeah, let me show you up. And this skinny weird thumb. Look at that. That is completely altered. Look at that skinny long weird thumb. That is not his thumb. I mean, look at it. You can look at this thumb right there. It looks fine. Look at this skinny weird thumb. It's actually even more forward than it should be. It should be more sideways. It's been all. Look at this. What is that? What is that black? And that's supposed to be a finger coming over. Look at that. It's solid black, like it's in solid shadow. I mean, this is altered. Someone, for some reason, had to put his hand in front of here because of what I think is this sign is false. This sign is a message, and I'm going to show you what it is, I think. Because why would you have to Photoshop and do a horrible job at Photoshopping a hand around the corner of this thing? Why? You know, even if his hand's behind here, who cares? Why does the hand have to be over this thing looking like it's holding it? Because it makes it look like it's more real and that it's real. But when you look at this picture, it's horrible. So let me go back here for a second. Look how skinny. Let me go back here more. Look at his arms. I mean, look at the pecs he has right here. I mean, look at this. Whatever he's called, deltoids or whatever. Look at this. I mean, he's more. Look at how skinny he is. You can see his skin and bones right here. Look how skinny he is. Look how thick he is here. Look at the leg. I mean, it's hugely different. I mean, seriously. And then now let me show you this again. So here's his face. Here's that ridiculous hand with a stupid thumb. It's darkened, and it doesn't need to be darkened. The finger on the front is completely solid black. I mean, and it's way too long. It's way too distorted. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit with the way the hand should be. His hand should basically be this big. It's massively huge going around this thing. Anyway, now let's look at his face. Compare faces. Look at this. Look how wide it is. But by the way, this chin looks horrible. It looks like Jay Leno's chin. I mean, it's huge. Look at this tiny little chin right here. Look at this massive, wide, Frankenstein-looking Jay Leno chin right here. Look at that. Look at this tiny little chin right here. And then look at his face, how it's just jammed in this head. Look at this face, how it's got plenty of room in this head. Look how this face is just jammed in this head. It's crazy, man. It's just... And then right here, right along here, looks massively photoshopped. It doesn't connect right. There's funky, weird areas. This one sort of connects, but it looked like this chin has been blown up to fit this face that's been put in here. This chin has been definitely altered. I can tell. Again, I know this stuff. I can see the little things. I can see the little things that don't make sense, that don't look right. This is not that. That's not this. These are not him. Okay? This is not him. That's not him. This is horrible. This, again, it looks like a cartoon head on a real body, a skinny guy's body. Look at that cartoon head. Look how big that head is and how weird it is and the big face inside the small head. It's so messy. Hopefully you see that, okay? So I'm proving it. Sorry, but I'm proving it. Now, why to show you that besides that? Because this is my timeline. And again, if you haven't watched I found the gold and silver keys, links in the description box, links pinned to the top of comments. Watch that. It's amazing. I'm still amazed. It's from the Lord. I mean, it's not from me. It's from the Lord. He gave me pretty much all this stuff. And it's crazy. I mean, literally, from the Revelation 12 sign to the Golden Gate alignment that I found, that's the same exact planets aligned as in this one, is 777 days apart, which is God's number. God's in the middle. 2 births on either side, which is 308 days, which is 44 weeks and 44 weeks. The middle is 111 weeks. So this is key. I want to show you this part. You got to watch the video to see all the reasons why this all is. It's insane. It's insane. 44 weeks. So remember this. 44 weeks. 44 weeks. And then this has to do with a twin birth, which if you take away the zeros, it's 38 weeks. And 38 weeks is a twin birth. Twin gestation period is average of 38 weeks. The gestation period for a normal baby is 40 weeks because you have 2 in 1 belly or whatever. Okay? So keep that in mind. But 44, 111, and 44. This is insane. And watch this. Okay, let me start with this. I didn't want to cover up his hands. You can see how ridiculous the stupid hand is again. And then let's look at first letter and last letter codes. Okay, this is crazy. This is immediately when I saw this Mayday, I thought about May, and I did a video about Mayday. I mean, Mayday. I mean, it's crazy. It's about sinking. It's about the United States basically destroyed. And they have this right here. And I literally, I looked at this and I read it like that. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I want to show you what I saw immediately. So M is 13th letter, 1 plus 3 is 4. D is the 4th letter, so it's easily 44. That's him, 44. Or even his antithesis. Remember I showed 44 weeks and 44 weeks. Okay, and then again, Mayday, Mayday. So we have 4444 for the first letter code for Mayday, Mayday. Remember, 44 weeks on either side. And then check this out. First letter, so we have first letter code for the first two words. And then these words right here. Sinking subway system. Again, I've said this many times. When the first letters are exactly the same, like in Mayday, Mayday, it's a hint from the enemy. It's like saying, oh, hey, my name is Charles Clapton. CC is 33. I mean, seriously, I mean, there's a guy on YouTube, and I thought he might have something right about some of the comments that were crossing. His name is Charles something. He's doing all these signs. You know, he's doing all these Masonic hand signs where he's talking, and his name, I forget his last name, Charles something. It was CC. It was like, when I was looking at this, I was like, no way, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I can read it from a mile away. Anyway, and like I said, my good friend who is a former Mason, he said that I got to know in the last few months, he said that I'm reading this more than he was taught to read it. And the Lord showed me more details than he knows. But he knows from what I'm sharing that it's true because it follows everything he's been told and taught for his whole life. It's crazy. So I'm like, it's great validation. Okay, so you know, S. So S is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0. So really, S is always 1. So 1, 1, 1. Does that look familiar? 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4. 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4. That's a code. It's a few codes. I'm going to show you even more. Now let's look at last letter code. So look at that. I mean, when I saw that, I'm like, hey, I don't believe in massive coincidences. So this is some code. He's showing when he's going to be born. I'm sorry, but it's there. I mean, why would you have that funky hand covering this thing if they put that there somehow on top of it, or I don't know what they did exactly. They photoshopped this in, and it shows sinking, and maybe, I mean, this is crazy. It's sinking somewhere. So let me show you this. Last letter code. Last letter code is Y and Y on Mayday, Mayday. Y is 7, so 7, 7. Remember I said in the beginning of the video, he is 7, 7. For 14, because 7 plus 7 is 14, the 14th layer of the pyramid in the back of the dollar bill is the eye in the triangle. There's 13, and then he's the 14th. That's 14 is 7 plus 7. And then many things about him being 57, because it's really September 7th. It's a code. 57 is really a code for September 2nd, which is Septem 7, which is 7, 7. And that's, or 9-7 as we know in the Gregorian. So Y and Y in Mayday is 7-7, last letter code, and then 7-7 again to confirm that. And then we also have, in the last letter code from Sinking Subway System, we have G just happens to be 7 also. And there's another Y which happens to be 7 as well. So we have 7-7 that way, and we know this is 7-7 because the system is black and Sinking Subway is blue for some reason. Even though, to make sense, sinking should be blue and subway system should be black, because subway system is all together. Subway doesn't need to be blue. Sinking may be blue because it has to do with water and stuff. But if you see this is the code here. So 7, 7. So we have 7, 7, 7, 7, and 7, 7. This 7's for this Y. This 7's for this D. And this 7, I'm just using the same 7 as the Y for this G. Because Y and G are both 7. Y is 25th letter. 2 plus 5 is 7. And then G is 7 and Y is 7. And then look at the M. The M is 4. So we have right here, what do we have? What is 7, 7 really? What is 7, 7? What is 7, 7 really? It's 7 times 11. 7 plus 4 is 11. So we have 7, 11. And 7, 11 is what? September 11th. Septem is Latin for 7. Are you kidding me? Now look at Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is another massive coincidence. Like I'm saying, I just said 77 in Mayday, and last letter code 77 and 77 in Sinking Subway is, and I said it was 7-11. Well, here we go. Mayday, Mayday, and reverse English gematria is 1116. So 1 plus 6 is 7. So you have 117. 711 backwards. Are you kidding me? And look, Mayday, Mayday is also 1 plus 3 is 4. 8 is 84 backwards. Because Mayday, Mayday is his birth. That's birth and death. Mayday means emergency. Mayday, Mayday. We're sinking. We're falling. We're crashing. Right? And then sinking subway system is 77, which is 711 and everything else. And look, it's 38. 38, again, sinking is 38. I mean, everything means something. It's crazy. But 38 is 38 weeks of gestation for a twin. And then sinking subway system, I had a little bit too low, but it's okay. You can still read it. Is 1 plus 6 is 7 and 5. 5, 7 backwards. Not a coincidence. Let's keep going. Where are we at here? Whoa. It's got really long here. Okay. Let's go a little bit farther. Okay, so I'm almost there. I didn't think it'd be this long. Sorry about that. So just gotta take it in doses here. So again, we have this. Remember this. So we have twin births right here on this side and this side. Again, you gotta watch that video. I found the gold and silver keys. Again, links in the description box and pinned to the top of comments. Here we have the Antichrist and the false prophet. Absolutely guaranteed, and I have more evidence of that. And then look at the background. Look at this. I even show this as the main thumbnail in that video. I found the gold and silver keys because here's the gold and the silver key. The gold and silver key with a crimson tie right here, which has to do with sacrifice. Okay, and this is a king's crown. So when the old gold and silver gates open, the Lucifer is pooped out of heaven, and then the man-child is taken up at the same time. That is the birth. That's the twin birth. It's the man-child in Revelation 12 taken up while the dragon's being revealed and trying to grab it, but he's taken out of his way simultaneously, basically. And so this guy is representing, or he's the Antichrist, and that's the false prophet. And they made this ritual pact on 9/23/2015. Okay, so here's the Pope nuggets. Okay, so let me just remind you of this as well. So this is in that video, so you're going to watch this, but I'm just going to tell you, in that video, I liken that timeline I just showed you with the 308, the 777, and 308 to this one. This is the Lord's perfect sign with January 5th, 2015, exactly the middle. So January 5th, 2015, exactly the middle of this tetrad blood moons. If you go from the middle, and I'm pointing to it here, go from the middle to this first blood moon is 266 days, which is 38 weeks, which is the gestation of a twin. And then we have the twins. So we have the good twin and the bad twin. This is, again, from the center is 266 days to this blood moon, 266 days, which is 38 weeks. Okay, why is this significant? Well, now I'm showing the Pope and everything. Let me show you. But let me show you this first. This connects, and this is in the other video as well. This connects the midpoint of that God's perfect sign. Again, why is this a God's perfect sign? Because all these eclipses balance from each other. They're exactly the same days apart from the center point. Well, what is this center point pointing to? Why is this a center point? Because it's pointing to what I was showing you, the beginning of the birth of the Antichrist. Because from that center point, January 5th, 2015, to September 1st, which is his birth, is 266 days, which is the 266. Take away the 0, 266 days is 38 weeks of a twin's gestation. And then Obama's birthday, this last August 4th to September 11th, is 38 days, representing 38 weeks, which is 266 days. Are you kidding me? That's not a coincidence. Okay, and then now, this kid's got the right idea. Because this guy is also a child consumer. And not in a good way. Horrible these people are. Horrible they are. And this kid knows it in his spirit, and he's screaming bloody murder. Because this guy's a murderer, and I want to prove it. And then I'm almost done with this part. Okay, I've got big stuff to share the next part. I wish I could put it all in here, but I knew I would be over already. And I didn't want to get to 2 hours. Hopefully we don't get to quite to 2 hours. It's going to be close. Okay, here we go. He's the 266th Pope. Are you kidding me? 266 is birth, remember? Let me go over here. Well, let me do this. Remember that? 266 is twin birth. 280 days is the average gestation for a single child. 266 is the average full length of a twin for each twin. And he's 266. 266 Pope. And that even more proves what I've said. He's the false prophet. He's the last Pope. And like, here we go. That's why full term for twins is considered 38 weeks, not the typical 40 weeks, because it's twin. Are you blown away yet? You should be. Okay, back to this. Okay, so you just see this again. So that's 266 and 38, and that's what I showed you before. Now check this out. That's what you call a Pope slap. Pope slap. You see how evil he was there? He had that face and everything. He's like, and he slaps her hand. It's a Pope slap. Well, why I have it in gematria? Because if you look up, just put in, Google yourself, Pope slap. And that's what they do because people know it by that. You put in Pope slap. Pope slap. You put in Pope slap and it goes right to the story about it. And a lot of people didn't like it. They shouldn't because it shows you who he really is. And he was angry right there. He doesn't look like the perfect angel he does all the time when he doesn't even realize, when he knows he's on camera, when he didn't really think about he's on camera and just showing his real thing. He just slaps. He's like, slap, get off my, how dare you grab my arm when I don't want you to. And and he apologized and everything too. I mean, he had to because the backlash was huge with that from that. So Pope slap is 116, upside down backwards is 911. And this might have been somewhat staged for the gematria. Pope slaps, again, you can Google either one and you'll get to the story. Pope slaps, and and most of them are all in quotes just like this. Pope slap and Pope slaps. With the article like, hey, the Pope slaps, in quotes, this lady, whatever. The Pope is 624. 6 plus 2 is 8 and 4. The Pope is 288. 8 plus 8 is 16. That's 216. 216th day of the year is August 4th. Are you kidding me? And then look at this. The is 288 in the Pope. And then the Pope is 288. And then the Pope is 311 backwards. And then look, remember this? 175. Remember that with Three Gorges Dam? That's how many meters the threshold was. I mean, there's so many things pointing to each other. It's ridiculous. Francis is 119. So again, these people are pointing to his birth on 9/11 is what I'm showing. It's crazy. Francis is 7-1. This is another one of those numbers. That's 7-1 is 8. And then 4 or 7. 1 plus 4 is 5. Backwards is 57. Bam. And then his name is Jorge Bergoglio. By the way, Bergoglio etymology is bear, Gog, lion, Leo. Bear is bear. Gog is in the Bible, Gog and Magog. Leo is lion. His name literally means bear, Gog, lion. That's what his last. And he's not the false prophet. Come on. And that's not made up. But do you see something here? Bergoglio is 918. 18 is 9 plus 9, so that's 999. Upside down is 666. And then look at his first name. Remember this? Look at Jorge. And what does that look like? Remember what I showed you earlier? What does Jorge look like? Does Jorge look like gorge? Or could be the same word? Jorge, George, gorge, Jorge. Jorge is George, which is gorge. And then look, in both are reversing the gematria. 84, Stinky Bio's birthday, August 4th, and August 4th. So slap out the 9. You don't need a 9. Anything you add to 9 stays the same. Boom, I'm proving it. And then check this out. Okay, almost done here. Hey, this is his birthday, and he's 83 years. So, like I said, if he's born in September, like I'm saying, Stinky Bio, then that is 38 weeks. Remember? 38 weeks, birth of a twin. He's the bad twin, right? And he's 83 years, which is 38 backwards. And then guess what? 1 plus 7 is 8. December is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3, and that's 83 as well, or 38 backwards. And then when it finally rolls around his birthday, he'll be plus 1, because 3 plus 6 is 9, and 9 and 1, and you just throw away both 9s, because anything you add to 9 stays the same. So both 9s thrown away, and you get 1. Or 9 plus 9 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9, 1 plus 9 is 10, take away the 0, and you get 1. Okay, anyway, it ends up being 1 when you compress numbers like they do, and then that's 80. His birthday is already 84, and he's 84, which is Stinky BO's birthday of August 4th. They do all kinds of versions of this. Again, watch my video, part 2 of how he's connected to the famous murderers. Let me just quickly go through this. Flores, he was born in Flores, Buenos Aires, Argentina. 1 times 48 is 48, 84 backwards. Flores, Buenos Aires, Argentina is 116. Like I showed you, his name is 116. Or the Pope slap, and then Pope is 116 or 119. Okay, that's not a coincidence. Just Buenos Aires, Argentina. See, I showed you all his names are basically 84, and then here all of his. If you basically take the full name of his birthplace, and then chunk it down from there to Buenos Aires, Argentina is 1. Again, throw away the 9. 1 plus 3 is 4. 8. 84 backwards. And then Buenos Aires, Argentina is also 99. Again, 99 is 9 times 11, or 911. There you go. And then, boom, another one. Just Argentina is, again, what was this? 5 plus 3 is 8 and 4. Or, remember, we've seen this a few times, this number. Or 5, 3 plus 4 is 7, 5, 7. So he also, just like George Floyd and his so-called killers, or responsible for his death, the officers and the Pope, are 84 and 57. And in this case, the Pope, also add George Floyd, or 9/11. Okay? I'm making a case here. Okay, and just to reiterate to you, the people who are wearing masks, and listen, I understand why you wouldn't. You don't want to deal with it, and it's a pain. You think you can get thrown out of store and all that stuff. I do it anyway. I don't care. I'm not going to bow down, and I recommend you not either. It's your choice, but Revelation 13:17 says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Now, right now, it's pretty much the case. If you don't wear a mask, you're not allowed, even though I'm doing it, and because they don't have it locked down yet. It's not the mark yet. This is the precursor to the mark. See, people will bow down to the actual mark. Who won't, who will, what AI can see, and it can identify, especially with a mask on, if it can tell your body language, everything else, your color, your hair, all this other stuff besides facial recognition. If it can identify who you are and all that stuff, and 6 feet apart, so it can tell who's who and everything. So AI is trying to figure out who's who, and there's so much going on to this. But the mask is also being a slave to Stinky BO. Okay, I'm telling you. And if you put on that mask, you're physically representing that, you're saying that you're his slave. Just like Trump eventually did on 7/11, because that's going to be his birth. Okay, he did on July 11th, which is a symbol of 9/11. Okay, whether 9/11 is still a code or not, we'll see, or it's the actual day. I think it's still the actual day of these mega tsunamis and all that, like I showed, but we'll see. And I'm going to prove it, how this is him, because mask and simple gematria, as simple as you can get, M equals 13, A equals 1, S equals 19, K is 11, mask is 44, and he is Mr. 44, the 44th Prez. And also mask in 6 times the 44. So this is simple gematria, is 44. I mean, this is so, I'm not even using these other gematrias where, Jewish would be like the first 9 letters is 1 through 9. The next 9 letters is in the 10s, and then, people can say, I don't know, there are different ciphers that they use and stuff. But A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. It's as basic as you can get, simple as you can get. Mask is 44, that's Stinky BO. Mask is also 2 plus 6 is 8, and 4, 84. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, if you're wearing a mask, you're submitting as a slave. You're symbolically submitting as a slave to Stinky BO. And guess what? Buying and selling. Remember, cutting, supposedly, if you don't wear a mask, you're not supposed to buy or sell it, pretty much. According to, not every part of the country yet. That's what I'm saying. This is the precursor to the mark. I'm not saying this is the mark. I'm saying it's a precursor to see who's going to bow, who's not going to. If you're wearing a mask, in my view, you're bowing. And I will never bow. Do what you want. You're a free individual. But this is my opinion. And if more people did what they're supposed to do and didn't bow, then none of us would be required. And it would be, and everybody would say, this is BS, Barry Soetoro, and we're not going to do this. Literally. This is literally Barry Soetoro. Anyway, okay, so last bit. So on part 2, I'm going to get into more detail about what's coming with this. This is a crazy evidence that I'm going to get into. I'm just trying to put some more stuff together. And of course, I'm already at 2 hours roughly or whatever. So I'm not going to keep going with it because there's so much more to get into with this. But I'm just going to preview you. This is the Golden Gate area. This is where the Golden Gate is. At the end of the bow, in between Ophiuchus and the bow of Sagittarius. This is the Golden Gate, roughly where this ring is. It's a little bit bigger technically than that, but as far as like pinpointing it, that's roughly the area of the Golden Gate. And that's right where, if you can see right there, that's where the Milky Way galaxy is, kind of in a sense, and it's right in here. It's roughly right in there. I'm saying rough, pretty much rough, but check this out. Okay, what I'm going to show you is why this is important, how this is going to intersect with the ecliptic, and where and everything, and the date and everything, why that's important, and the exact degrees and everything that it's going to intersect. And it has to do with Angel Island in San Francisco Bay and the Golden Gate Bridge. And you will be stunned. I was stunned. I'm still stunned by that, how it lines up with so many things I'm talking about already. And what I shared, and I found the gold and silver keys. So you got to watch that as well in the meantime until I come out with this part 2, so you know what's going on with this whole timeline I'm sharing and everything that I've already shared, that I didn't get to everything on this. And then it has to do completely with a lining up of this Angel Island and exactly where this picture is taken, where you're standing. If you're taking this picture right now and you're standing right here, this iconic spot of not only this and what this means, and what this Golden Gate Bridge really means, and the timing, and this exact spot that overlooks this iconic spot, what it all means, and how it's about the birth, and how it's about the opening of the gold and silver gates. It's mind-blowing. So, anyways, I want to ask you also, again, like I said, if you haven't clicked on your notification bell, do that. Thank you for thumbs up. I want to thank you so much, and I want to thank you, everybody. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, my family, everything, for everybody who's prayed for us. And if you continue to pray for us, I appreciate it, because we're under attack all kinds of ways. We're doing great. I'm thankful, but we do have moments where we're under attack in different ways, and with YouTube and such like that. And also sharing these videos. Like I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share more. Please. I don't quite understand how I can have a part 1 and part 2 of that other video series about Obama be connected, and like a certain amount of people watch the first one, and the second one is a little over half. So if you watch the first one, watch the second one. It's even better. But anyway, and then I also want to thank, from the bottom of my heart, everybody who's given to us. And if I hadn't got something out to you as far as a thank you or email, I apologize. But I'm not really a respecter of persons, whether however much you give, or you help me with something, or you send me something, or you need prayer, or you need something, or you send me a clip of something or a movie or something. You say, check this out. And instead of me responding to everybody, I just generally thank you right here, because there's too many people. I get too many emails. I mean, I get some donations, so thank you. And in fact, I'm gonna ask for the donations right now. So every time I do a video, and I haven't asked for several videos now, a few different videos, because I ask every time, the Lord, what do you want me to do? And He said, go ahead and ask. So I'm asking, if you're able to give and you feel like I've helped you or whatever, give you information about what's coming, and there's a value to what I do, I appreciate you giving. There's via PayPal link in the description box. And I'm also going to include, I feel the Lord just said to go ahead and include the P.O. box. And that's been a blessing as well. Receiving different things from different people has been awesome. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to put a P.O. box and link to PayPal in the description box. Be able to give. Thank you so much. And again, like I said, to all you have given so far, I have not taken it for granted. I've tried to thank you as much as I can in most of my videos. So I thank you personally, each one of you that have given, whether it's $10, whether it's $50, whether it's more. I mean, God, there's been some that have given, and I'm so thankful for every amount, any amount thank you so much. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate. To me, it's like that you would even, appreciate what I do enough to give. It means a lot. It means a lot in any amount. If you give $5, I mean, I'm just like, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in what the Lord's doing and seeing that the Lord's doing this through me, and then ultimately it's Him doing it, and I give Him all the glory. He does it all. I just have the audacity to believe it and go through all the scrutiny and all the lies about me and all the kind of attacks and everything, because ultimately I don't care about that. I care about people's lives. That's what I care about. I care about people's lives being saved and warned. And I've had several people since I started over 2 years ago come to the Lord. And I'm every time I'm just, you can knock me over with a feather. I'm so shocked. And or to have people ask me questions or advice or something like that, it's a blessing. I'm just thankful. So thankful to be able to do this for people, even though it's at times it can be very grueling and taxing and all that kind of stuff too. But it's also wonderful. So thank you so much. Thank all of you for everything you've done. You contributed to this ministry and what I do and my family. And so from the bottom of my heart. So and I'll leave it at that. I appreciate you so much, all of you. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.